Tyler Lee, red and black, home of the state championship plaque. But in 05 we'll still be holding, so I know we just had to bring it back. Something about Tyler, cause them boys straight jack. Division 1-5A wasn't ready for the 04 sack attack. Boy, you should've stopped when they told you turn your head and call, but instead you played us and took a loss. I tried to tell them we were the Lone Star boss. I mean, why else would they take a delay a game on the coin toss? So quit delaying the game, boy, we've had enough. Matter of fact, either make the call or just hang up, cause you just ain't tough enough. Go ahead and call a bluff and see if we can't beat you in blindfolds and handcuffs. Why you standing there looking amazed with no clue? Y'all need to find another sport our drill team can take you. I guess that's just how the Red Raiders will do. Y'all can have your whole school on the field and we'll still run through. You better play ace of base and see the sign. You're running for your life if you ever get caught behind enemy lines. Might as well take a knee and start praying. That's why all year the Red Raiders been saying, how you feeling, Red? You know. Texas State champ, oh show. Stop Tyler Lee, oh no. If you wanna come get it, let's go. How you feeling, Red? You know. Texas State champ, oh show. Stop Tyler Lee, oh no. If you wanna come get it, let's go. If you ain't winning, go ahead and close your lips. Got a whole team of captains, we just took over the ship. They falling down and blaming it on the slip, cause they know we deal like most shots in a 6-foot clip. Yup, better watch those running backs, they love to climb. The only thing our receivers dropping, other team morale. Try to cross that line and get put in the grind, and we'll do option QBs, what you gon' do now? Meet the linebackers D-line if you want some. Try to hit for the end zone if you want your body numbed. It's like meeting Roy Williams coming across the middle, son. Cause our corners and safety make sure your career is done. Check out our pep rallies, boy, I mean man. With 3 times as many fans and 1 hell rocking band. Cheerleaders on handstands, come group of these gentlemen. And I promise, we got the best moms in the land. Come take a seat in the stands and watch us Rick taking out teams from here to Waco, back up to the Metroplex. Spring West of the flex and got put to rest. By the time we left the Alamo Dome, it was who's next. How you feeling, Red? You know. Texas State champ, oh show. Stop Tyler Lee, oh no. If you wanna come get it, let's go. How you feeling, Red? You know. Texas State champ, oh show. Stop Tyler Lee, oh no. If you wanna come get it, let's go.
A group. What's up, everybody? By the way,
guys.
Technical difficulties par for the course. It's just how we do it. We were talking about it earlier today. We're like, man, if there's something that could be screwed up on the first or second try, we're there. We're
we got a PhD on the 4th and 5th try.
Dude. It's unreal. It is unreal. You know? It's just, I don't even know. So, let's see.
So, just checking it? Are you just checking it?
Yeah, is it working?
I don't know. Yeah, I'll pop it up.
It looks like we're having difficulties on here too.
Let's see.
Is it coming up on yours?
No, I ain't got it yet.
We rolling?
I don't know. Let's see. Chad Kidd. That's your name, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
There.
Yeah,
Rolling.
yeah.
Rolling. Oh!
We're talking like an idiot.
My God. So, in support of Veterans Day coming up, I felt like I kind of needed to wear my NFL Veterans Salute the Troops.
Dude, I love it. I love it. I did the same thing.
I got at the game, and I don't know if you realize, but the Dallas Cowboys were playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's correct. They did.
I got tickets.
You did?
I had 6 of them.
You did.
And I brought the Gardners and
good people.
And I brought the Howards. And when I showed up, there was these people wearing red in the seats.
Who was doing that?
I don't know. And then I started talking to them, asking them how the drive was from KC and, what's the weather like up there. And it turned out it was you.
It was me. Okay. I had a Kansas City Chief. I'm a Patrick Mahomes fan, and I'll just put it like this. Patrick and his mother, let me just say this, and his mother guilted me into it.
Well,
straight up guilted me. And there's no excuse.
I understand. I support Pat too.
I mean,
but until my son plays on an NFL football team, I'm not wearing anything except Cowboys gear to a Cowboys game.
I mean, I got that Cowboys on tonight.
Oh, I know you're trying to redeem yourself, and you're never ever going to hear the end of it.
Allison O'Neill sent me a text during the game and said, "Just curious, who are you cheering for?"
Oh, it was hilarious, guys.
Because you can't stand up and cheer.
He didn't know what to do. You know, Zeke would score, and he would be like. And then he just sat over there like this for the entire game.
What do you do when KC cheats? You go, Zeke. No, you can't do this when you got KC on. I mean, it's just not possible.
It was embarrassing, but
slightly.
It happens. And Lee, I'm with you. I don't even know what to say. It's just.
What did Lee say?
Oh man. He said, "You're dead to me."
Nolan is dead to me. Well, so is the tight end position to me. So
yeah. So we appreciate everybody joining us tonight. Trolling has started. I'm going to try to keep up with this thing a little better. You know what's kind of lame-o about the feed? It's like sometimes hard to keep up with whenever you're doing it on the PC. But we're going to do our best, and then we're going to have another segment where we just stop and just read through this stuff and then see if we can answer some of it.
Yeah, I like that.
But interaction has always been our downfall on this. It's why we do it live, and then we struggle with. I mean, we struggle with pretty much. We need like an earpiece and somebody reading it off. You know?
What'd you say?
Can somebody look into that? I mean, if anyone has like $10,000 laying around that we could just borrow.
Here's what I want. I want Lee Trammell to come over here with a dry erase marker and a dry erase board and write the questions up on the board. He's not allowed to talk because he doesn't know fantasy football at all. But what he can do is he can write the stuff on the board.
Yeah, that would be great.
Answer it.
I mean, I think Lee would be a pretty good producer. I mean,
he would be a pretty slick producer. He's done a couple logos out there.
Speaking of producing, I was just making sure that.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, I was trying something new, like the range. I don't know. Yeah, it's always it's a growing process. I'm just waiting to see if you catch on fire. I'm just waiting to see if you catch on fire. It was bad. All right, let's talk about what we're gonna do in week 10. This is what we're gonna do tonight. It's gonna be a little different. We're going to talk about news and injuries. We're going to do all the same old. We're going to bring up one foot in the grave again to people who have kept on going into the grave. And then trade deadlines, playoff runs. Going to talk about draft.com because,
it's awesome.
It is. It's awesome. And we're going to make a call in to Jeremy Fubu Randolph.
Jerome.
So you're going to be in charge of that whenever the time comes. We're just going to throw that on speaker because we can't just connect in and do all that. I know Lee said to try doing this. Well, we're doing it on my phone, and my phone's up there, so I don't know. Anyway, we were going to try that Facebook Live connect via video deal, but I couldn't figure it out. So
next week.
Next
show.
Next show. We're going to talk about Week 10 best matchups, Week 10 sleepers, the quarterback front. We're going to go through kind of what the quarterback situation looks like right now in the NFL, and bowl predictions. So,
I love it.
Biggest news: Zeke
suspended again. He might play. He might not play this way. I don't know. It sounds kind of final.
Yeah, it's final. He's not playing for 4 weeks minimum.
4 weeks, and then he gets his appeal.
Gets to appeal, and then I'm sure that the way that it's going right now, he's probably going to go ahead and serve the other 2 weeks after that. I mean,
yeah, probably. Hopefully, well, and that goes to our next news. What was the next news you got on there?
Jerry Jones gonna sue if Roger Goodell gets another nod at being commish.
Well, so I think that hurts Zeke. So one thing I've learned is that if you piss off Goodell, like quarterbacks or big-time players get suspended. I mean, Deflategate, all that stuff. So, like, Zeke has got a 6-game suspension. It would seem to me that maybe the owner needs to. Don't get me wrong, I hate Roger Goodell. I hate his face. But it seems like maybe if you get on bad terms with him, and maybe your appeal might not go right with Zeke. I don't know. I don't think it's good for it. I don't know. I don't think it's good for the appeal.
It's unbelievable. Really, it is.
It's the right thing to do, though. That dude needs up out there.
Yeah, he does. Goodell needs to go.
He needs to go.
Inconsistent.
And then, he makes knee-jerk stuff. I mean, like now, like if you thump somebody in the head, you get a 6-game suspension. It's a joke, really. I mean, it could be in the shit show later on.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's an all around shit show. I mean, Roger Goodell is the king of the shit show. And speaking of kings, I'm just saying before we even get into it, Larry Fitzgerald is the king of NFL football. I'm going to say it right now because he is. I mean, when you have Drew Stanton and you're just making plays,
Dude, I was just before I came over here. I was watching. They were talking about the
Football Life is Tonight for Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But they were doing the 6 or 10 or whatever best exits from the NFL, and they were showing Kurt Warner in 2009. That's 2009, ladies and gentlemen. Larry Fitzgerald was catching balls from him in 2009.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, for touchdowns all over the place. And I was like, dude, Larry is legit.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's my favorite player, I've decided.
It's hard not to like Larry. He like, when he scores a touchdown, he ain't doing any hoopla. He's like, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player's player.
He's a player's player. He's got stick 'em for hands. He takes shots over the middle.
Nothing but respect.
Nothing but respect. He's like
anyway,
Jason Witten.
He is. Like that was who, like last night I was trying to really think about who my favorite player was. And I'm like, man, he's stand up and Jason Witten, of course I'm a Cowboys homer, but it's like, I mean, both of them, anyway, so I was just thinking about that today. It was awesome watching him last night just perform. Let's talk a little bit about last week news, the ejections and the suspensions and the just chaos. We were driving up to the game, so I didn't get to watch any NFL, and I had it on the radio, but we were telling crazy stories about poop. And then, so I didn't get to hear anything, and I was laughing too hard anyway. But, yeah. So I didn't get to hear anything, see anything. I get to the game and I'm like, wait, ejected. All on my Bleacher Report, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And apparently AJ Green, I watched it back, and he's just like MMA and Jalen Ramsey. And there's no reason for Ramsey to have got kicked out, I don't think.
No, not really. But AJ should have got kicked out.
Oh, yeah. AJ, definitely. And then Carlos Hyde, I didn't watch that back. Did you see that one?
I didn't see all that one. But, obviously heard about it. But evidently they were messing with the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And Carlos Hyde came to his defense. And he was kind of in the doghouse. Because Burrito was getting a lot of stuff. And now they, absolutely love that guy.
Yeah, he needed to do something like that. That's good for fantasy.
It's good for that.
I mean, he played well. I went back and watched a lot of games. I didn't watch that one. But, yeah, and Mike Evans suspended. That kills a lot of people this week. That just is brutal.
Jameis Winston egged that on.
Oh, I saw that.
He definitely egged that on. He was pointing, and then he got roughed up, and then
there and touched the back of old boy's helmet, and
the guy was like, "Don't touch me," and he was like a third grade girl.
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
he is a third grade girl.
He kind of is.
Yeah,
his shoulders
I had to make a freaking trade to get a quarterback this week because of his ass.
Yeah, no, not solid.
Because I'm not gonna roll Andy Dalton. I'm just not.
Dude, anything ginger is not good.
How about the injury front? I really like the first one you have there.
So Buffalo. We got Charles Clay. He's been limited in practice, but it looks like he's going to go this week. That's big for that offense over there. They've got some weapons now for Tyrod Taylor, who's been beasting it anyway.
Yeah, it's nothing but good.
Now he's going to have Benjamin. He's got Matthews. Now he's got Clay, and you can always dump it off to Shady. So I think that's awesome. He looks good to play. New England, we've got Chris Hogan. He does not look good with the shoulder. I do not anticipate on him playing, so if you're trying to start him, probably don't. Matt Forte. Okay, so for the New York Jets, Matt Forte's got knee swelling in that surgically repaired knee, and he may not play. He's going to be a game-time decision, so watch for that. But if he doesn't play, upgrade Elijah McGuire and Blaupau.
I mean, I think that Blaupau is going to have a phenomenal week.
Oh, I think he's going to beast it. He needs to, because I need to beat people in couch leagues. In Baltimore, we've got Daniel Woodhead. A lot of people his friends call him Danny. But he practiced a few times, and he looks set. Next week is a bye, and then he should return the next week. So
Buck Allen
Buck Allen, I don't like anybody over there. Alex Collins. I mean, it's just going to be like just Bill Belichick.
It'll be a mess.
Over in Houston, CJ Fitzgerald. I can never Fedoritz. He's coming off the IR. He was concussed earlier in the season, so his body should still be in good shape, and he should play this week. CJ is out there. I probably wouldn't start him, but I'd give him a week. He's going to be, I think, a player down the stretch. In Indianapolis, they went ahead and said what we've known for about 5 weeks, that Andrew Luck isn't playing.
Yeah, he needed to just be IR. I'm just saying.
Just IR him. I mean, you're like, I don't know how many games they've won, but just IR him. In Jacksonville, Marquise Lee, who a lot of people like. I like him if he plays, but he's got a knee and did not practice a couple times this week. But he should get game time. So I think he's going to play. I don't know if he'll be limited or a decoy or whatnot, but he's probably going to play. Over in Tennessee, DeMarco Murray has been injured all season. Why not a knee now? But he is practicing, but that just means that he's going to be ineffective again. Delaney Walker should play with his ankle bruise over in Tennessee. In Dallas, Des Bryant's got a knee and ankle. We were at the game, and I saw the hit, and it was definitely to his torso, but he came out with a knee and ankle, and I'm like, man, I was confused. But it looks like Dez is probably going to play.
They have to have him.
Oh, they get with no Zeke. I mean, they better have him in a hyperbaric chamber right now.
Yeah.
And then Tyron Smith, we normally don't talk about the big man up front, but he's not looking good to play with a back injury. And that's going to hurt that offensive line, with a tackle out. Could better that pass rush for Atlanta. Washington, Jamison Crowder and Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's injured. Wow. But they both have hammies. I think Crowder's going to play. I'm not so sure about Reed. So,
even if he does, you can't roll him out there because he'll play 5 plays and he'll get hurt. And
they got Vernon Davis, who's serviceable.
I need to add him to my in the grave.
He's in the grave.
He is in the grave.
In Minnesota, Stephon Diggs was off of the injury report, but he was immediately put on with a tooth injury. I mean, really? I mean, he's off. The ankle, the lower legs, all that's all good. Groin. Now he's got a tooth injury, but don't worry about it.
It's a Halloween candy, dog.
He's probably going to get to the dentist, and probably he should play. Teddy Bridgewater was activated to the 53-man roster. We were talking about that.
Good or bad for Stephon Diggs whenever he's full force?
I don't think he's going to play for a number of weeks.
Yeah.
I think he's going to serve as a backup.
When he is.
I'd rather Case Keenum.
Yeah.
Just me. Just because he's rusty.
Yeah.
Like next year, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
But this year, I just think he's going to come back rusty. He hadn't played in forever.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, we got Julio Jones. He's also always on the injury report. He did not practice with an ankle, but Julio always toughs through this stuff. But monitor that if you're going to play Julio. Over in New Orleans, Mike Thomas also had an ankle injury. This popped up like out of nowhere.
It's just like last week.
And
or 2 weeks ago.
But I think Mike Thomas is going to play. Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston is shelved for a few weeks with that shoulder injury, which is finally, you got Fitzmagic over there. So Fitzmagic's not the best quarterback in the world, but he's definitely serviceable. Jameis has been straight trash, and I think this is good.
Not 2 years ago, Fitzmagic brought the magic back for Brandon Marshall.
Dude,
So,
he can sling it. He can sling it. He doesn't have the arm strength as Winston, but he can sling it. So,
and he shaved the beard.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He looks 14. And then in Seattle, that game was yesterday, but Fat Eddie Lacy didn't play. I'm sure everybody knew that. He's got an ankle injury. Earl Thomas was out with the hammy, and then one of the biggest injuries in the sport right now looks like Richard Sherman's going to be out for the season with an Achilles. So,
Yeah. I don't like him at all, so.
Yeah, you don't like his face very much, but with him, Earl Thomas, they got a lot of people out on that defense. I'd be questioning it down the stretch.
All right, man. I appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about shit shows. I got one that, I watched a bunch of games, and went back and watched the Baltimore game, and this one was just fresh on my mind. There was a play. This is a lot of special teams happening. There was a fake punt that worked out on 4th down for Tennessee, and then coming back the other way for Baltimore, they punted. There was a hold. They brought it back, and they had to re-punt, and they're like inside their 10, and the punter just side foots it 10 yards, leading to a Derrick Henry touchdown. It was the biggest shit show I've seen. The camera was behind them, sometimes when they're backed up all the way to the end zone, the camera guy gets behind them sometimes. And, you could just see it, just, Pha-chow! And I was like, where did that go? And then it zoomed out, and it's like the referees running down the sideline, like all the way back where they were, and marked it at like the 10. And I'm like, oh, man, that was brutal. But that was kind of shit show-ish.
Oh, that's a shit show.
Just for one play.
That's a shit show.
But yeah, what do you got?
Man, my shit show is Indianapolis Colts, and it's not as funny as yours, but basically the shit show is Indianapolis trying to ruin Andrew Luck's career. Basically, when you get a franchise quarterback and then you choose not to spend any money on offensive line, and then you go, you know what's going to be a good idea, man? I'm going to get you some help on offense. I'm going to get you a washed up Andre Johnson and some Frank the Tank Gore. And so they got them in there, still didn't get any offensive line, got him beat up. So Andrew Luck should be one of the best quarterbacks of our era.
Hands down.
But he's not, because Indy's a shit show.
Yeah.
And
they got rid of the GM, which was one step, but it's like, it's still got a long way to go.
It's a train wreck. Got rid of the GM, they switched some coaches. It's
dumpster fire.
It's a dumpster fire over there. I feel sorry for Frank Gore, because I love him.
I've got another shit show. My other shit show is Seattle run game. It's just abysmal. It's just like it's non-existent. It doesn't matter what they do. It's
Russell Wilson is a rusher.
He ran for 40 yards. It's just like, God. I don't know. They're
CJ Prosise, he's a shit show.
He is.
He gets hurt. He can't play more than 3 quarters.
He's
healthy. 3 quarters, I'm out. 3 quarters, I'm out.
I think
I like that McKissick guy. They should get him more involved.
Dude, he's fast.
Yeah.
He is fast. He looks like Tyreek Hill fast.
He reminds me of Devin, or what was that guy that used to play for KC, and then he played for Tennessee, and you could flex him as a running back wide receiver. It's like, starts with a D. It's like Devin, wasn't it? Something. Anyway, this is that guy.
I'll think of
if I hadn't asked you, you'd have known. But yeah, let's talk about some players. So when I said I needed to add Jordan Reed to my 1 foot in the grave, I've got him. I've got him. You've got him. The first one is Jordan Reed. Talking about tight ends. Who's your other tight end on there?
Well, all my tight ends. Really, you can take out Ertz, you can take out Gronk, you can take out Kelsey, And then the rest of them are a shit show.
Yeah.
I mean, really. But Eric Ebron.
Dude, I was just trying to pick up a player today after I dropped Andy Dalton, and I looked in the tight end front, and I was just like, there's not even anyone worth adding.
You know, you got a couple out there playing good, like Jack Doyle and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, Jack Doyle's coming on. Jack the card.
You know, I think Cameron Braid has a good week this week, but, I mean, outside of, like, 5, it's like, not even Delaney Walker is worth a shit this year.
Yeah.
I mean...
And Jimmy Graham had a really good game, but not very many yards, but 2 TDs.
He's in the 5.
Yeah.
He's in the 5.
It's a nightmare.
It's a nightmare, but Eric Ebron's my other tight end. And it's because every year I buy into this hype. They're like, this guy's gonna be amazing.
Can we just say this, Nolan? Can we just say the same thing with Detroit goes for Green Bay? They're not going to involve the tight end, so don't even draft them.
No. Unless it's against the Cowboys in the fourth quarter and it's the last pass. That's the only time they involve the tight end.
Yeah, neither one of them. So just don't even buy into it.
No.
I mean, you can't even name the last decent tight end that Detroit had. They had that Pettigrew guy, but he wasn't that good.
At best, he was a streamer.
Right. And then for Green Bay, it was Jermichael Finley.
You
know how long ago that was? That was forever ago.
That's been a minute, and that guy should have been a beast.
But I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's just like, so think about it like this, too. This is a pop quiz. Who was the last good fantasy running back for Detroit? Was it Barry Sanders? Because, I mean, I know J.A.R.V.I.S, maybe.
Joy
Bell? No.
He was good for like 2 weeks.
No.
And he stayed hurt.
He was not good, though. It's just like, I'm just saying, I don't think that they've been able to run the football since Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody.
Isn't that crazy? How have you been an NFL football team for that long? And
could get an RB.
That's unbelievable. But yeah, that's a shit show in itself right there.
God, I can't think of anybody that's running the ball good over there. I mean, not even, what's the little scat back they got now? Theo Riddick. He's not even playing good. No. He's more like 5.
He's never been able to run the ball between the tackles.
Oh, no. He can't even
if they had tackles to block.
I think that might be...
It's amazing, though. I mean, that's crazy. If my football team didn't have a running back for that long, I'd be like, let's just light it on fire and put it in the dumpster.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, I digress there. But on your wide receiver front, I thought this first one was interesting.
I say Devontae Adams. And I know he's the only guy that's getting thrown to, but it's me throwing in the ball.
Right, but I mean, like, it's shit right now, but I mean, other than that, like, next year, I'm still going to...
he caught that touchdown, right? Oh, Devontae Adams, next year? I'm in. I mean...
Well, you can't be 1 foot in the grave.
He's 1 foot in the grave this year. I mean, I live in the present.
Yeah, but when you got a foot in the grave, you're getting ready to be absolutely... You're about to be C.J. Spillard.
Well,
or you are not being on my fantasy team ever again.
This dude's going to resurrect at the beginning of next year with Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
But outside that, I mean,
and Corey Davis, you have on your list.
Any receiver for Cleveland has got 1 foot in the grave.
You mean Tennessee?
Tennessee. Any receiver for Tennessee has got 1 foot in the grave right now. Mariota is playing atrocious. They can't even run the ball.
Oh, no, they definitely can't run the ball.
And then, it's like, is it going to be Rashard Matthews? Is it going to be Delaney Walker? How about it's nobody?
Yeah.
Like, nobody. Corey Davis is out.
Matthews is it, I think. If I had to play one, that would be it.
If I had to play one. But Corey Davis is in there for me.
He got a lot of targets, but he didn't do nothing with them.
No. Again, if I throw you the ball in the NFL, you're not going to catch nothing.
Your next one?
Dante Moncrief.
I was so high on him last year.
Dude, if Luck plays, he's a beast. But Luck ain't playing, and like I said, in the present, Dante Moncrief's got 1 foot in there this year.
Okay.
And then, this is kind of obvious, but Terrell Pryor.
Dude, what? He's probably the disappointment of the year, I think.
He kind of is. I mean, he's the biggest bust, I think, of the year. And, I mean, he should be the number one receiver over there. I mean, I know you're high on Josh Doxson, but
I'm really not even. I mean, I was high on him last year before he started.
Yeah.
I mean, before he got injured for the whole year. And then I kind of fell off that train. I mean, the talent is there. He just stays injured, and he's going to be injured again. It's like you can't put faith in somebody that just goes down. And then it's just that offense is it's so bad.
It's really bad. But I don't understand. Like, Kirk Cousins is decent. Terrell Pryor's got ball skills. It should work, but it doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't work.
It could be play calling, really.
I wonder if they're going, where's Pierre Garçon?
I guarantee you they are, and Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, for my receivers, I've got Sammy Watkins on there.
Yeah.
Because, and I know that he had a good week last week, but you just can't. Okay week.
One catch.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can't do anything.
1 for 67 and a touch.
Randall Cobb, who is actually dead to me, so the dirt is already on there and the flowers are out. Eric Decker, dead to me.
Tennessee receiver.
Tyrell Williams, dead to me.
Oh, dude, that sucks, because that guy's good.
Yeah, well, he's 1 foot in the grave. Eric Decker is actually dead to me. I have 2 dead to me's on there, and then the other ones have a foot in the grave. So, what about on your running back front?
Number 1 is DeMarco Murray.
Toast, man.
He's done. He's done. Even if he got healthy for the rest of the season and played good, he's still not the running back there next year. And
Dexter McCluster, I'm just saying.
Dexter McCluster's the
Thank you, Matt Anderson.
I knew Anderson.
Thank you.
He was.
Sorry, I just saw that.
McCluster.
Yeah,
DeMarco Murray's dead to me.
He's
dead to me.
He's dead to you.
He's dead to me.
What about your next one?
Ty Montgomery.
Man, and you went all in on him too.
Dude, and here's the thing. He's a good player.
He is.
He's a good player. But anybody on the Green Bay offense without Aaron Rodgers is pretty much dead. I mean, you can add, Jordy Nelson. You can add whoever you want to the deal because Hundley can't get it to anybody. But
it's funny too because in his press conference after Aaron Rodgers went down, they were talking about it, whatever. And he was like, well, "Let's talk about what Brett Hundley's going to do, not what Aaron Rodgers is going to do." Well,
how about nothing?
We see.
Just gonna sit there silent.
We see what he's going to do.
So Ty, man, Aaron Jones looks good. Ty Montgomery's really a slot receiver. So replace him. Kick Randall Cobb to the curb. Let him play slot.
So your next one, I agree with.
I mean, and it's a little preemptive, but Leggy Blunt's got 1 foot in there because J.A.R.V.I.S is going to take over that job.
Yeah, I mean, and I was hoping that LeGarrette Blount would get maybe a fourth of what he did last year. Yeah. And it's not even close.
No, he's
got 2 TDs.
They need to go ahead and trade him to
2. He had 18 last year with New England.
They need to go ahead and trade him to New England for nothing and let him play over there for the rest of the season. Yeah. Just make it really muddy. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And then this guy stays in the dead to me deal for me. It's C.J. Anderson. He's got a great schedule coming up.
He does. He could bounce back.
I mean, it's hard not to bounce back from freaking 22 carries for 12 yards.
Oh,
God. I hate C.J. Anderson's face.
Yeah, it's
and he's fat and slow.
Yeah.
Play Booker. Play Jamal Charles. Anybody but that guy. But so who are your running backs?
Man, I've got CJ on there, DeMarco on there. For me, and I've been done with them, so I didn't get it's a player. I've got a little segment that I'm gonna go into a little while that I didn't list, but it's all the players that I avoided. I've listed them off, and it's all the players that I avoided drafting that you all wish that you had.
Yeah.
And Dougie Martin is one of them.
Dougie Martin is one, but Man, I'm going to tell you, Doug Martin he passes the eye test. The problem is that Jameis Winston's been absolute trash. I mean, I'm with you though. I mean, he's doing absolute nothing. He scored .7.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's asked about Josh Gordon. He's 1 foot in the grave. Josh Gordon, I mean,
you know,
man, he fooled me once. Shame on me. Fooled me twice. Really, shame on me. Fooled me 3 times. The third time, dude, pick him up.
Oh, I mean, I want. Yeah, I mean, like if you want to stash him, but he's probably not going to play until like week 15.
Yeah.
And then, are you going to trust this rolling out this guy with a QB that he's probably played 2 weeks with and hadn't touched field since 2014?
Deshaun Kaiser.
2014, I think, or 2015. But it's been at least 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're just going to be like, it's the playoffs. Put him in there. Not me. I mean, he could career it and win it for you, and congratulations, you're squirrel ass lucky.
I'm not putting him in the DFS either. I mean, I'm not playing it.
No.
Period.
No, I'm done with that. Danny Woodhead, I've never been on. I've never owned him. We were talking about that earlier today.
He had 6 catches in his first drive this year.
I mean, no, I get it. He's great he's a Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that's great, but I just don't like
that's
those
not the
type of
guys you
players.
draft. Yeah, I got you.
I like people that like to actually touch it
Yeah, I got
and
you.
run. You know, not catch it 5 yards. That's a receiver.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
No, I'm with you.
On your quarterbacks.
I've got famous Jameis Winston.
Gosh, he's got so much. Dude, I'm just saying, in his first 6 games, he had 4 games of more than 300 yards.
He did. And then I watched Hard Knocks, and I was like, I kind of like this guy. But then he took everybody back to that house.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And he was like, came outside and goes, "This is where we pee. This is where we pee." And I was like, dude, these people are your family. You're a multimillionaire. Help them out. I mean, they don't have any AC. Come on.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't like you, Jameis. And he's been trash this year. I mean, early on when his shoulder was healthy, he had a few good games, but he's been bad. Mike Evans has been bad as a result. Doug Martin's bad. Everybody's bad because Jameis is an idiot.
Cameron Brate's been good.
He has been. I think he'll be good this week.
I was high on him.
I like Brady.
We talked about the Red Rocket. He's on your.
Yeah, and Andy Dalton. Yeah, I mean, he's just not good. He doesn't have any arm strength. He's a ginger.
So mine are Big Ben, Andy Dalton, and Kirk Cousins. I'm just kind of.
Kirk Cousins has got 1 foot in there.
Yeah, I'm just when I drafted. This is the first time I've ever owned Kirk Cousins, and I regretted it. So the players that I avoided that you wish you had, I'm just going to list them real quick because we're going to pick up the pace here. But Mike Gillislee, Marshawn Lynch, Jonathan Stewart, Doug Martin, Ty Montgomery, Isaiah Crowell. I have 1 share of Crowell. And it was
Ty Montgomery beasted it until he got hurt.
It doesn't matter. I didn't get a share of him because I didn't believe it. Frank Gore, a lot of people drafted Samaje, P. Ryan, Rob Kelly. Didn't have any shares of Allen Robinson, Jeremy Maclin. I had 1 share of Terrell Pryor, 1.
Yeah.
No shares of Martavis Bryant, no shares of Eric Decker, none of Randall Cobb, Brandon Marshall, Corey Davis, Corey Coleman. I think the list actually goes on, but next year when I draft, I'm going to post this beforehand, and that
These
way
are the guys
people know.
You know who the biggest name I avoided was? Julio Jones.
Yeah, I don't have any shares. I've never owned him.
No shares of Julio.
I've owned Rob Gronkowski 1 time 3 years ago too.
Yeah, I mean he beats.
He's great. I mean he's great.
Great player, but so's Julio. He's a great player.
Yeah,
but
I can't risk it. I would love to see the 40-point game, but I wouldn't be able to handle the 3-point games out of my number 1 draft pick.
Oh,
yeah, I couldn't deal with that.
I'm with you.
Trade deadline's coming up for everybody.
Yep.
Buying and selling. On the wide receiver front, I think that I kind of want a little bit of Devin Funchess if I can get him. And,
hell yeah.
And a little bit of Devontae Parker if I can
I want a little Devontae Parker, and I want a little bit of Mike Crabtree. If you don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, and some people might be a little down on them.
Oh, go get it.
Go get Mike Crabtree.
Go get Mike Crabtree. He'll win you a title.
He will.
He'll win you a title.
I wish I had. I couldn't get him anywhere this year. I mean, and I wanted him, so it wasn't one of those things where I avoided him.
Just send me a trade.
Keenan Allen, it's going to be a bad week this week, but after that, it's smooth sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Woods, if you can get, he put up too big of numbers. It's probably going to be too high of a price,
but you know he's going to be a solid 10 to 15 point guy down the stretch that you can play in your flex every week and just not worry about it. Jared Goff looks good.
Yeah. If anybody's knee jerking on Dez, if he can get healthy, that's all.
That's all we got.
It's going to be all day, every day.
Oh, I'm with you.
Mohamed Sanu, I love. I would try to get him. I think that he's their third down guy, and
he's their third down guy, and he looks for Sanu in the red zone a bunch.
Oh yeah, he's a red zone guy.
He's a red zone guy. More than Julio.
On the running backs, I'm going to try to buy Shady McCoy if anybody's selling after a 2-point game.
I tried to buy him from Fubu today, and Fubu was not having it. I am so surprised that Fubu looked at it that hard. He's like, his schedule's so good, I can't trade it. Yeah. I was like, you've been talking to Chad.
No, I swear to God I didn't talk to him. I was trying to help you make that deal.
Were you really?
Well, we talked about
I know.
I mean, I gave you my suggestions of who I would give.
I just figured that you had told him about schedules down the stretch, but he obviously knows about it.
No, he knows what's up. That's why we're going to give him a call.
That's right.
He knows his stuff.
I was impressed.
He's got a great team in that league, too. He's got Kamara, Shady, and Leadbell.
That's all you need. And then I was like, it looks like you need a receiver to win. He goes, hey, man,
yeah, he's got
I'm just hoping that they get like 8.
He's got like Ted Ginn and somebody else, but he's got somebody. I can't remember who it is, but he's got somebody else.
That's what he does.
Selling. I'm selling Jordy Nelson. I know you're not going to get a good price.
I'm going to sell Jordy.
If Jordy somehow has a good game, you're selling him.
I would have sold Adrian Peterson before this week.
Oh, I'd have sold him for sure.
Yeah. I mean, maybe for J.A.R.V.I.S.
Yeah, maybe. That sounds like a good deal.
Great deal for the guy that's getting J.A.R.V.I.S.
Fubu, are you commenting on your mom's Facebook? You gotta be. You gotta be.
What did he say? It was collusion. I swear. I mean, if I didn't know Fubu.
No. Lee and Chuck.
And Chuck. If I didn't know Chuck, I'd say it was collusion. I mean, there's no way anybody drinks that trade.
I texted Charlie and I was like, look, was that an accident that you accepted? He was like, no, I wanted to see what happened. And I mean, that's all it took, but we can't even get into that, Lee. Selling, I'm going to sell Robbie Anderson right now.
Oh, yeah, get rid of.
You could probably get something.
Oh, you can throw him in a package. And
people are going nuts over him. I mean, he's playing well, but, I mean...
I think he'll be serviceable, but he's not, like, going to be your touchdown guy every week and catching 6-7 balls. I mean, they're just not that good.
He's a flex at best. Jamison Crowder or Josh Doxson, if you can. I mean, nobody's going to buy that.
If you haven't already tried.
Nobody's going to buy that. T.Y. I'm selling T.Y. right now.
Sell T.Y. as much as you can get for him.
On a high note. Sell T.Y. Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas. I'd probably sell Demaryius as well.
I mean, when you're looking at Brock Osweiler.
But the good news is you can't throw it more than like 5 yards, and Demaryius works in the 5 yard so, that might be a good thing. I don't know.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, go ahead and get rid of Alshon.
Getting rid of Alshon.
Yeah, big game too.
On the quarterbacks, if you can get anything from Kirk Cousins, you can after that 6-point game. But if he puts up a good game this week, sell him.
Mm-hmm.
Selling on the RB front, Buck Allen, if you can get anything from him. If people aren't paying attention to Woodhead coming back.
Trade Buck.
C.J. Anderson, maybe.
Get rid of him and start talking about his schedule down the stretch.
Yeah, maybe you can't get anything for him.
I traded him today.
Either one of the Tennessee running backs get rid of him. Adrian Peterson's on my list, obviously.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch had a good game before the bye.
Get him gone.
Get him gone. If you can get anything for him, you can get a kicker for him. It'd be a value.
You get Greg Leg.
Greg Leg, man.
Take it right out.
Let's talk about our playoff runs because, most of the time we're in the playoff runs, if not first, second, or third in every league that we play in. I'm in like last in one.
I'm
one league. I'm in last, so don't get.
I'm in last in the league too. It's just, I mean, in the Dexterous Lab League, I am in last.
Yeah.
And it's like I keep looking at my team, going, "It's a good team."
It is a good team, and just sometimes it just doesn't pan out.
And people beasting it on me.
Yeah. Sometimes, dude. Last year I had a team that got 1,700 points put up on them.
Wow.
And that was my team name going down the stretch. 700 against. It just happens, man.
Yeah, it happens.
Players with the best schedule. Okay, so when you're preparing for your playoff run, obviously you want to look at all these good schedules, especially if you're making moves. Players with good schedules down the stretch. You spent a lot of time on this.
I did.
Quarterbacks.
Okay, so so here's how I did it. If you had a bottom 8 in the league matchup, so your quarterback, you're going against a secondary that's bottom 8 in the league, I viewed that as a green matchup. So I gave you a point for that. And if you had a red matchup, that's the top 8 in the league, then I took away a point for that. So I was going through and just some guys that stood out to me that maybe we were a little worried about that could bounce back. The number one is Marcus Mariota. He's got 3 good matchups going down the stretch. What did he say?
He's trying to call us Democrats. Lee.
Okay. Well, he's not smart. So Mariota's got 3 good matchups going down the stretch. Kirk Cousins, I know we just talked about him, he's dead, but he's got 3 good matchups going down the stretch. The guy that I really think that could win you a fantasy football title, and I can't believe I'm fixing to say this, is Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
He's got 3 good matchups, and he's getting all his healthy weapons.
Oh, yeah,
back.
man, he's getting some weapons.
And then the last one, an underperforming quarterback all year long, Derek Carr's got 3 good matchups.
I was getting ready to make a deal for him if I hadn't got Matty Ice today.
Oh, well, I'd rather have Matty.
Yeah, I mean, I had famous Jameis go down, and so I had to make a move, and and we talked about it. You helped me with that.
And I tried not to make it obvious. I mean, there's other quarterbacks that, obviously if you get Tom Brady, it's a good thing.
When you sent me this with the numbers and stuff, and I was like, I wonder what the numbers are. I was like, maybe it's like his, on a scale from 1 to 5. What the matchup is. And so that's what I thought it was, and so that's how I did my numbers. And I gave Cam a 4.
Yeah.
And I gave Breeze a 4.
Yeah.
He's got some, and Tyrod I had a 3, and Rivers I had a 3, because Rivers has a pretty good.
He's got a pretty good matchup. But yeah, I agree with all those. I mean, like Cam, I tried to make it like guys that you may or may not be starting.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Rivers would be a good one then.
Rivers would be a great one. But, obviously, if you got Drew Brees or you've got Tom Brady.
You're starting them anyway.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson. Right?
Okay. On your RB front.
The best running back down the stretch, by far, and I know this is an obvious one, is LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
He's got 4 good matchups going down the stretch. His quarterback's been playing good, and they've got all the weapons back. If Charles Clay starts playing, he is going to beast it up, and I'm so pissed off that Jeremy wouldn't trade to me. Next one that maybe everybody's shying away from because of injuries on the team is Lamar Miller. He's got 3 good matchups down the stretch. C.J. Dead-to-Me Anderson has got 3 good matchups down the stretch. And the Cleveland running backs got 2 or 3 good matchups going down the stretch.
Duke Johnson, this week is a good week. There's no possible way I would start Corey Clement on his bye week before I started Isaiah Crowell.
Yeah.
If I can get around it, I get it. If you have to, you have to.
And he's playing a bottom 8.
If you have Isaiah Crowell, you probably aren't making a playoff run.
No, I've got
Because you probably drafted him too high.
I got him in a league, and I've been starting to see Jay Anderson instead of him, which means that it's straight shit. I mean, but I've only got 2 losses in that league. I mean, I just got a good team other than that trash. Anyway.
I've got Melvin Gordon and Jordan Howard's got a few good
Jordan
ones.
Howard's got a good one.
What about on your wide receivers?
Okay, so we just talked bad about him, but Julio's got 3 good matchups. The Oakland, just same way as the quarterback, it kind of goes hand in hand.
Either one of those guys. It's just like we were saying, trade for Crabtree. I mean, it's
trade for Crabtree. Devin Funchess has got some good matchups.
Trade for Funchess if you can get him.
Bob Woods has got good matchups.
And all of these are on my biome list. It's great.
Marquise Lee, a guy that maybe down the stretch you could plug him in there. He's got 3 good matchups.
There's a lot of people playing him and happy with it.
I'll tell you, though, again, I guess they're just playing garbage down the stretch, but Jordan Matthews and Kelvin Benjamin have 4 good matchups down the stretch. And I'm not saying start Jordan Matthews by any means.
There's some people that have been starting him, and I mean, he can get you like 7.
Yeah, he can get you like 7. But Kelvin Benjamin,
I'd rather have Charles Clay coming back.
Oh, Charles, I think he's kind of the Tyrod throws to the tight end. That's what.
Well, I think that just him and Clay have been on the same page for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody else is new around them. It's like, get rid of Sammy Watkins, get rid of Bob Woods, get rid of everybody. Here you go, Tyrod. Who are you going to throw to? Well, the guy that I've been playing with for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. But those guys got a good matchup, and they're maybe worth a start, at least in some DFS.
Baldwin, for me, I mean, obviously you're starting on. I have Alshon on here, but I'm kind of backing out on that. He's got some good matchups, but I feel like when Ertz is on the field, he doesn't have, and it's like when Ertz is on the field, they either go to Ertz or Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. But you'll see it. I mean, like maybe when they come off a bye, because Ertz should be back. Watch, and you'll see Aguilar will have a really good game when all 3 of them are on there. It's just how it goes. And you had some tight ends down. I didn't do any tight ends.
So Gronkowski's got 4 good matchups down the stretch. I mean, you're going to start him anyway, but he's got 4 good matchups. He could win you a fantasy football title. Travis Kelce's also got 4 good matchups. So you're starting him anyway, but he's going to be maybe winning you a title. Hunter Henry, he's got 3 good matchups down the stretch. And then last but not least, Jack the Card Doyle has 3 good matchups coming down the stretch. So those tight ends are going to be pretty good.
The defense that you've got.
These are just defenses that's got good matchups down the stretch.
That looks good, man. I mean, I love Baltimore all the way out.
Really, Baltimore, the Lions, and the Pats. I mean, the Jags and Denver D is probably gone, but those guys, Baltimore, Lions, and the Pats, they're going to be pretty strong down the stretch.
So down the stretch, another thing you want to do, obviously, if you haven't already, is stash your handcuffs.
That's right.
There's guys that have been lingering on the waivers that you probably should have had, like Austin Eckler. Melvin Gordon can get injured at any moment.
Yep.
There's a few others, but make sure that you have all your handcuffs. The biggest thing, when you're making a run, don't start getting cute at the end.
No.
Just play your guys.
Yeah.
Play your guys. Play your guys that have been winning. You might have to take some chances if you're like, if you got 3 wins and you need to just win out, then
yeah, you might.
Maybe whatever you've been doing hadn't been working, so maybe you try something new. But
I'm with you.
Yeah. And are you really out of it? I put that on there because it's like you're never really out of it until you're 1-8.
Dude, 2-7's in it right now. If you can win out and get to 6-7, you've got a chance to make the playoffs.
I have done that before. I started like 0-6 in one league and came back to 6-7. And I did not make the playoffs, but I was it was a difference in like 40 points, but I was so close.
Dude, I did it last
It's
year.
like the third time I ever missed the playoffs in any league.
I won one game, lost 6 straight, so I'm 1-6, and 1 out in the in my $500 league last year. And you know, never count yourself out. Make some trades, do some stuff, and just keep making. Don't. But what Chad's saying is if you're in it and you get in the playoffs, don't start getting cute and going, you know what? I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to start Jameson Crowder.
Yeah.
No.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Keep starting the people that you've been starting all year, even though they have a bad matchup. They're stars for a reason.
DFS your season long.
No, don't do that.
Don't DFS GPP your season long, basically. Speaking of DFS, I wanted to talk a little bit about draft.com because I got you in it, and you did it, and you loved it, and people don't know.
I played 3 leagues last week and won all 3.
Yeah, I won like 138 last week. All over it, man. I mean, just killing it. And I like to play the 3-team ones. There's 3-team, 16, 10 teams, and there's some other ones. There's head-to-head. But the 3 and the 6, that's where
where it's at. I did a 10-team today just to do it, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, but it's just straight up a draft, man. It's just a draft, man.
It's just a draft. Couple things that I tell you in the 3-team, just wait on quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Last pick. I mean,
and they're all there because everybody can only get one quarterback, and you're going to get one of the top 3 quarterbacks no matter what because there's only 3 teams.
And so I had a guy take a quarterback in his first pick.
There's always an idiot in there. I have that on my notes. There's always a dumbass.
And it's a 3-team league, and so I got the second pick, so I was like, okay, I'll take Lev Bell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I was like, you're going to lose. And so
I got I have a team with Fournette and Melvin Gordon on there this week, and then I have a Todd Gurley, Fournette.
Oh.
Fournette is in every one of my every DFS lineup and every draft lineup that I can get him in. Like I'm that hot. Like I feel like he's going to be pissed off that he screwed up, and he's going to come out and he's going to be like, "This is why the rules don't apply to me."
And they don't want Blake Bortles to throw it anyway.
Yeah.
They want to hand it to Fournette.
I mean, but so here's the setup for draft.com. You get on, you get into a draft, and as soon as it feels, it goes. And you're involved the entire time, just like it would be like a draft that you do at the beginning of the season.
It's quick.
It's really quick. You get 5 players. You get a quarterback, 2 running backs, and 2 wide receiver or tight end. And, man, it's quick.
30 seconds a pick. I think it's 25 or 30 seconds a pick.
Yeah.
And it's just like bam, 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 bam. And
then you're done, and you look at your team, and you're like, oh, man. And if you, for some reason, somebody is injured and doesn't play or suspended like Zeke, they let you swap out. Like I swapped out. I had Zeke. I did a draft too early this week and had Zeke in one of them, and they let me swap it out.
In the 10-team, a guy drafted Zeke today. I mean, I was like,
dude, I'm telling you, there's plenty of DAs in there.
Yeah.
And no matter what, every single one I've got into, there's been an idiot that's like reached for like somebody. You know,
like somebody down there at the bottom.
Like trying to make it like DFS.
Trying to be cute. Trying to be cute. You
can win. Text Fubu and tell him we're getting ready to call him here in a minute. But yeah, I think that seriously you should get on there and give it a try. $25 deposit, and you get 3 entries when you use fan_jar.
I did it. I did it.
I mean,
and won it.
It took me I bugged him to death. He finally did it, and I mean, it's easy. You can ask Nick Gregory; he knows. It's an easy way to make some money.
Lee might even be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, even Lee could probably do it. He's an accounting guy. He's not going to spend $2.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We call him Fubu?
Yeah, let's give him a call, and if you put the phone up here,
let's call Fubu.
Maybe we'll be able to hear him. Get your volume as high as you can get it.
What's up, fellas?
Foobs! Here we are. We're doing our first call in with the Foobinator.
It's just fitting. I mean, he should be the call-in.
I mean, he should. I mean, if you're trying to find out what the fastest, quickest, best player for 2 years from now, you call Fubu because he drafts people that hadn't even thought about breaking out.
Yeah.
If you're in a dynasty league,
Oh.
I'm your man.
He's been pushing us to try to do dynasty leagues for so long.
Can everybody hear Fubu? Can somebody come back and tell us they can hear Fubu? Fubu, talk a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, I hijacked my mother's Facebook page.
I saw that.
So,
I saw that. I think we're good. Yep. Natalie says we're good. Good to go. So, a few questions for Fubu here. First one is, how are you doing in fantasy this year? Because we were just talking about your team and the coach from the couch, and it's pretty beastly.
well, that's the worst playoff spot I'm in right now. Is in that league right there. I've got 2 number 1 seeds, a number 4, a number 3, and I think I'm 6th in ours.
Man.
So, not too bad overall.
I mean, see, Fubu gets it done. I'm just saying. He gets it done. So this is the goal. This is one of the questions that I think everybody needs to know about, is because people just need to learn how to draft like Fubu sometimes. Who do you have the most shares of, and how has it turned out for you this year?
Kamara.
Dude.
And Evan Ingram.
God almighty.
And those were drafts? You drafted those guys?
Oh, yeah.
I know you did.
I had 4 rookies that I leaned to, in every draft this year. And that was 2 of those. I wanted John Ross. I thought he'd already have a role this year, too, but obviously that hasn't worked out.
No.
So that kind of...
He's been hurt, though.
So...
Yeah, he's been hurt, but Kamara, my God, what a home run!
I mean, drafting Kamara, but that's what we were talking about. Like, if you want to look forward to a player, like what he's going to do later, I watch Fubu in our draft, and I'm like, Kamara, who the hell is that?
Yeah,
and then I pick him up in another league, and I'm like, hell yeah!
Yeah, man. I mean, he can see the future. It's because you keep up with all that college stuff. I'm pretty sure Fubu goes to, he has clones of himself, and he goes to high school football games across the nation and watches all the high school football games, and he's at the Pee Wee football just like this guy. I mean, this guy in 15 years, this guy's going to be a beast.
That's me. I'll start scouting him in Pee Wee and start drafting early. Set my dynasty league up real quick.
Man, so speaking of that, the golden question: who are a few players that you that are worth stashing in a keeper league for next year, or at least worth keeping an eye on?
I mean, it depends on if you have to draft them or if you can pick them up off the waiver and keep them.
Either way, who are we eyeballing?
If it's somebody that you've already drafted or trade for, I'd trade for Cooper Kupp. You're not going to find many slot guys that have, that lead the team in red zone targets. And you've got a young quarterback, a young receiver, and they already have chemistry. He's not setting the world on fire yet. But you give it time, and you've got a guy with hands that can run routes.
Yeah.
That the quarterback loves.
Yeah, he's a target monster, too.
I guess it depends on where you drafted him and where you have to keep him. So, I mean, if you can get him for a 12th or 13th round pick in a keeper league, keep him.
Heck yeah. I agree with that.
I don't know as far as how far down you would want to keep somebody. I mean, of course, you're going to keep Hunt and Cook and guys like that.
Those are my 2 keepers in the coach from the couch.
Yeah, you stole Hunt from me. That's why I bought Mixon.
Yeah. But you think he's going to pan out, though,
I do if they'll figure out something to do with their offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have a running game if you can't give your quarterback enough time to actually throw the football either. So
yeah,
it's they're kind of stuck in the middle right now.
He might have a good week this week. We were talking about that earlier. Jeremy Hill's out.
Yeah, I saw that today. I was looking for anybody to pick up in the running backs on our waivers, and it was hilarious. There's like
Nobody.
not one person.
Dude, I picked up Alex Collins week 2.
I mean, the way fantasies work this year, if you want a running back to go off, you put him on a terrible offense against one of the best run-stopping Ds in the league on the road, and he'll go for 40. I mean, that seems to be how it's worked this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's one of those guys that he's got the skills, and he is now, granted, in college, he did have the most rushes for a loss when he was at OU, but then again, at the same time, he also had the most carries for plus 20 yards over like a 2-season span. So, I mean, he is your home run hitter if they'll just give him enough touches to do it.
Well,
So
I think they've
depends
kind
on-
of learned their lesson. They're starting to give him the touches. They just like you said, they need that line.
Yeah.
to do something. Another guy to keep an eye on, if you can pick him up off of waivers, is D.D. Westbrook.
Yeah.
If you can pick him up now, do it.
I've heard that.
Any guy that leads the NCAA in receptions, you want him on your team. And once Blake Bortles gets a clue, then he should pan out before the next year or two. I think he'll be their number 1 receiver.
He's fast too.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, Fubu likes those fast players.
Yeah. I remember he was all over Percy Harvin, man.
Yeah, he was, man.
Like Percy.
Hey, the best team name I think that's ever been done though was Percy Reed and Alcohol. That's Fubu right there.
That was fun.
Man,
I still like ETMC intensive care.
yeah, Fubu is known for having players go down, but
Well, I hope LaShawn does.
I think that seriously, this is leading into the last question I got for you. How does it feel to hold the Coach from the Couch trophy? I mean, how does it feel?
It's pretty good. I haven't gone on tour with it yet, but I will here pretty soon. And make sure I take a picture with it everywhere I go so that everybody can see it. It's fun to look at it every day, but I want some other people to see that I have it. So
I've got a question.
I might do a Facebook Live thing where I just sit with the trophy for an hour.
There you go.
Just hug it or something. I don't know.
Kiss on it. I had one question. You said that you were in a number of leagues.
Right.
And you said that maybe the worst position that you're in is the Coach from the Couch League. Is there a reason for that? Like, is that just a highly competitive league with a lot of good players, or what's the deal there?
The league's always been extremely competitive. Even down to the smallest detail. Do you think you can find a guy on the waiver wire? No, he was gone 3 weeks ago.
Heck no.
If there's an up-and-coming player, they were drafted.
Yep.
Trades are scrutinized, they're looked over. Nobody's going to make a move unless it benefits everybody.
That's right. Lee Trammell can learn from that.
Yeah. Did you hear about that trade? Lee did.
Did you hear about that? So, would you think that this trade would get approved in our league? Adrian Peterson for J.A.R.V.I.S.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so who got AP and who got a J.A.R.V.I.S?
Charlie got AP and Lee got a J.A.R.V.I.S.
Is Chuck online right now?
I don't know.
Chuck, I mean,
what in the world?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
look at Fubu being PC on online.
Yeah.
What in the world? I've never even heard him say "what in the world" my whole life.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, I got one more. If you're in a dynasty league, sell everything you have to go for the number 1 pick in the rookie draft. Saquon Barkley needs to be the first guy off the board, no matter which team he goes to. No matter what, I'm paying through the roof for him in our league next year. So y'all be prepared to pony up.
Oh boy.
I got you. I'll bet you up.
I mean, he'll be on my radar for.
I can't even pronounce his name, but I'll bet on him.
All right, dude. We appreciate you joining us, Foobs. We're gonna have to do this again. Heck yeah, man. Thanks.
Hey, I think we ought to bring Fubu in.
Yeah, we do.
For a show. I mean, we got room on the couch.
We do. We need to make it like the coach from the couch. I mean, it's just like we bring in a different league member from the best league that's ever been created. Every now and then.
You know, like John Howard, and okay, so here's the deal. Zach's the commish, and he does a great job. But me and John created the league.
Yeah, you did.
We created a league.
You did, and then you and John both send the worst trades that's ever been known to man, too. So you hold these 2 titles, and you hold them with pride.
I felt like I sent Fubu some legit stuff.
I'm sure that you did today, because if you sent him anything like what we were talking about,
I sent him I sent him.
There had to have been a feeler.
I want to see what's up. So I sent him Tyreek Hill and Alex Collins for Shady, because he's got 3 other good running backs. And he's like, man, I can't do that. Shady's schedule's too good. So I said, what about Doug Martin? He's like, no. I was like, what about Doug Martin and Alex Collins? He's like, dude, can't do it. Yeah. I was like, are you willing to trade Kamara? He goes, no. And I was like, well, I'll talk to you later, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you gave it the college try.
Right.
I mean, his team is pretty good. I gotta at least like see who is, because I was curious to see who his running backs were. Fubu holds the trophy in the most competitive league that there is.
He beat me in the championship game.
He played Nolan in the championship. I've been to 3 championships and lost every time, so I know how you feel. I
split pot.
I've never got.
You know who didn't split pot? Candace.
Yeah.
Last year. What happened?
He's got Larry Fitz as his receiver. So Shady, Lev Bell, Drew Brees, Larry Fitz, Ted Ginn,
Evan
Ingram, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara. I mean, and he's got Cooper Kupp. He had Will Fuller going on too. Oh my God!
If he'd had Will Fuller,
he would be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just good drafting right there.
He's lost 2 games by under a point this year. And scored 130 plus. So
let's talk about going into week 10 and some great matchups. Who do you think the best matchups are on the quarterback?
Well, on my list, and I did this. I sent this to you earlier in the week. I said Russell Wilson versus Arizona.
Yeah,
obviously it worked out good. I think Stafford versus Cleveland. I think Jared. I put dog. But it's Jared Goff versus Houston. I think he's going to have
Dude, I mean, like, it's a beautiful matchup for him to come off of a great game, too.
I think he's gonna beast it. I think this is one of the weeks where if you're just struggling at quarterback, you can get McCown and start him against Tampa Bay.
Dude, McCown has, like, been better than a lot of people, lately.
He's been playing.
Yeah.
And then, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think Eli versus San Francisco is going to
Anybody versus San Francisco, I mean.
Yeah.
Mine is, I really think Big Ben is going to, even on the road against Indy. Even on the road against Indy. Matty Ice versus Cowboys.
Yeah. I didn't put that on there for a reason.
Because you just can't have any more Cowboys hate coming out of you.
I love Des Bryant.
You're on probation.
I love Des Bryant.
I had Stafford. I also had Dalton, because if you're just scrambling like I was earlier this week, I had to figure out something, and that's a good matchup. So,
what about your RBs?
On my RB front, I've got Alf versus Atlanta. I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's going to be the guy this week for sure. Ingram and Kamara against Buffalo. I'm just saying, Buffalo is a pretty good defense, but Matt Forte lit them up last week. Lit them up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if there's a repeat of that, then both those players are going to go hammy.
Yep.
I've got Black Powell. I think you've got that too. Fournette, yeah, we both have that one. Yeah. I mean, good God. There's a lot of players that we both have, but Duke Johnson is one of the ones that you didn't have that I like.
I like that. I like Lamar Miller versus the Rams.
Yeah, that's good.
I didn't Lev Bell.
Devonta Freeman's probably going to have his bounce back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
If he comes into it 100% healthy.
Yeah, and he's not on the injury report right now.
I didn't mention it.
No, you didn't. But
he's good. But, yeah, he could pillage.
Yeah.
Dallas.
On the wide receivers, what you got there?
Okay, so I've got Antonio Brown versus Indy, but I got some question marks beside it because I actually think Pittsburgh is going to crap in their mouth. And I think that maybe you're going to only get a couple quarters of Antonio Brown. So I temper that. It's a good,
Well, you
really
know
good
what's
matchup.
really good, though, is, I mean, they cut Vontae Davis this week after his injury, which is their only corner.
Only one.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
who is going to guard Antonio Brown?
It's like, who is
He could probably put up 20 in the first half.
He probably could. So I got some question marks. I mean, obviously you're going to start Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, he could pillage. It's a great.
If Julio comes in healthy against that Dallas secondary, he might pillage.
You called Baldwin against
I had
Arizona.
Baldwin against
Great
Arizona.
game. He had 5 for 95.
5 for 95, and really he should have gotten that end zone. He was a step away from getting that
Yeah,
end zone.
that one big play with he just shook the pants off that.
Dude,
corner.
Russell Wilson is filth back there. He's like Tony Romo back there doing the spin arounds and then touchdown or pick, whatever. And then Demaryius Thomas versus New England. I really like this
That's
matchup.
a great matchup. On my wide receivers, I have AJ for a bounce back. Sterling Shepard against San Francisco. It's a good one.
Dude, I've got him in a couple leagues. I'm thinking about starting him.
Cooper Kupp and Bob Woods. Juju Smith-Schuster. I like that a lot. Robbie Anderson's going to have another good game. And it'll be definitely, if he has another good game, you can probably get a lot more in a trade.
Yeah.
Then on your tight ends.
Obviously, Gronk. Denver's not very great against tight end because they traded away their safety. And then I love Cameron Braid against the Jets this week.
Let me just say this, because people were kind of worried after last week. He had his worst week. But I think that the thing, like, it's not Fitz magic, because when he came in, I think in week 6, Cameron Braid had 6 for 76 and a T. So he is still go offable with Ryan Fitzpatrick. So
yeah.
So that's a great. I like that call a lot.
I like Rudolph versus Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I know I said earlier he's dead to me, but Cleveland's so bad.
It's a great matchup, but I would be more maybe DFS, maybe.
Yeah, and then I like Dixon against Miami.
I like that. The one that I have that wasn't on that list was Tyler Kroft against Tennessee. I like that.
That was okay.
If you're scrambling for tight end.
Here's the other thing. I think who's playing the Giants? I think the Giants have had 8 straight tight end touchdowns on them.
San Francisco, and they lost George Kittle, so
Yeah.
they don't have anybody really.
Selleck's the guy. He scores a touchdown this week. Mark it down.
Oh gosh.
Mark it.
Bold
prediction. There it is.
The worst matchups for week 10.
Ooh. Where do you want to start?
With your receivers.
Let's go wide receiver. I don't like Mike Thomas against Buffalo.
Okay.
I don't like DeAndre Hopkins against the Rams. Got a pretty good corner over there. And for the Rams, I don't like Brandon Cooks, period. Especially against Denver. I don't like Keenan Allen against Jacksonville, although I think he'll be serviceable. I don't like T.Y. Hilton against Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like Diggs against Washington.
Against Norman. Do you think Diggs will get Norman?
I think Diggs is the most explosive player on their offense. And I think he'll, don't get me wrong, Thielen's steady Eddie. But I think I don't know if he'll follow Diggs, but
I think that, so on mine I have Kelvin Benjamin, who's going to go up against Lattimore.
Yeah.
Which is going to be filthy. So I know it's like awesome that he's going to the Bills or whatever, but I would go Charles Clay and not go with
Who's Detroit got this week?
No, they're not on bye. I can't remember.
Slay's good.
Yeah. Parker and Landry against Carolina. I don't love either one. I mean, I like them both moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
but this week might be kind of rough. And it could be a really good week after this if you don't have trade deadline yet to get Parker if he puts up a dud. Because I'm going after him with everything I've got.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what I asked you earlier how much I'm going after him.
You told me RBs.
Yeah, RBs. I'm just going to go off of what you have. You're a little worried about. I'll list mine and I'll rebuttal on yours. McKinnon versus Washington, I don't like. But I do like McKinnon moving forward. I know he's going to have his duds, but man, he really came through for you before the bye.
Yep.
Let's see. Kenyon Drake versus Carolina. That's not going to be good.
Nope.
Abdullah versus anybody.
I
don't even have him listed as who they're playing. I can't remember. Cleveland. Yeah. Abdullah versus anybody. Who are yours?
Okay, so I don't like Abdullah. I don't like Chris Thompson this week against Minnesota. They actually play the back out of the backfield really well. I didn't like Adrian Peterson versus Seattle.
Yeah, that was a good call. 20 carries for 21 yards. Yeah, 24 yards.
Still, great trade.
It's like a tenth of a yard per carry.
And then, okay, so here's what I'm going to say, because I put some question marks beside it for a reason. So Gurley doesn't top 50 yards rushing, but the guy is going to pillage out of the backfield. He is going to catch so many passes out of the backfield. Obviously, you're going to start Gurley, but I'm guaranteeing you he doubles up out of the backfield catches as he does the rushing yards.
So here's my deal on Gurley. That I saw this and I was like, I'm going to look into it a little bit. I'm not worried about him because when Houston plays a quality team, they get lit up. I mean, not lit up, but they get. So Fournette put 142 on that ass.
Right.
Kareem Hunt put 108 yards on that ass.
Yeah.
And Fournette did it with J.J. Watt there.
Yeah.
And then they've played a bunch of doo-doo other than that. I mean, Seattle got 5 yards on them. So
right.
It's kind of skewed.
No, I agree. I still think he has a good game. I just think he gets it done through the air.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, I mean, a dirty... I think that this week is the week to go, high dollar running backs on DraftKings.
Oh, yeah. Get your Love Bell, get your Girlies.
Yeah,
get your Fournettes.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, nearly everyone in my lineup says Fournette in it.
Mm-hmm.
What about on your quarterbacks?
So worst matchups, I'm going to go Phillip Rivers versus Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's going to be bad.
It's going to be horrible. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins versus Minnesota.
Two pick sixes for Phil Dog.
Oh, could be. I hope one of them's not. Well, anyway. And then the last one's Drew Brees versus Buffalo. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Drew Brees has been underperforming all year.
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's a product of better defense.
That's correct.
Mariota against Cincinnati, I don't like, and Brissett against Pittsburgh. That's not going to be your plug-in this week.
No. I'm going to play golf this week as a plug-in.
Your sleepers for Week 10 on the running backs.
Sleepers for Week 10, Orleans Darkwa.
Love it.
He is going to pillage the historically bad San Francisco D.
It's just going to be dirty.
Pillage them. I think Bilal Powell.
Especially with Forte out.
Forte's going to be out. Bilal Powell's going to pillage. And then I like Tariq Cohen this week.
Dude, I'm just saying in the Coach from the Couch League because we've got a lot of roster spots and the depth. I mean, even if you have great depth, it's tough this year. I've had to roll out Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen multiple weeks, and I'm doing it again this week.
Oh, I think you're going to pillage this week.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
Cohen gets in the end zone.
I'm playing Mike Taylor this week, by the way.
I hope he beat his face off.
I don't ever really look at who I'm playing, except in the Coach from the Couch, and when I have to have a win.
Yeah.
And
I just like beating mine.
Dude.
It's my favorite.
Our history is not good on the
I know, but you're due.
It's my
tragedy.
I said Duke Johnson earlier. Aaron Jones I think that this game with Green
I
Bay
think he's got to bounce back.
could be just a turn floater where neither offense can get going, so they're just going to run the ball a whole lot on both sides, and
I like Jones this week.
on the wide receivers, who you like?
Okay, so I like Robbie Anderson versus Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You said that earlier. The other one that's really, really sneaky, I think he's going to be a sleeper. I think Samuel Watkins has a day. I think he has a day.
I mean, Goff is going to go berserk, so
I think,
and they're not going to pull the brakes.
No, they're not going to pull the brakes.
They're not. I mean, they've just been too bad for too many years. The Rams are not going to pull the brakes.
When they can score
on any
50,
game.
they score 50.
Right, and they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like that's a good thing about them. That's like a lot like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't ever pull the brakes.
No, but like if I'm in season long, I'm not going to start Samuel Watkins. But I'm talking about DFS wise. I think.
I mean, if you have to on season long, but I don't know. Marquise Leala. And my sleeper of the week across every position is Adam Humphries.
Oh yeah. With no Mike Evans?
No Mike Evans. I think he's going to get some catches.
Dumper downs.
Yeah,
Catch 8 balls.
His magic is going to be terrified.
Oh.
He shaved the beard. He's not going to know what to do without that extra weight. On the quarterback, who's yours? Sneaky. Oh, you mentioned them both.
Yeah, I got McCown and Goff.
Yeah, I like them. I like them both. Big Ben and Dalton. I mentioned both of them earlier.
And then I got Ed Dixon. Against Miami as my tight end.
Here's my beat. First, I'm going to say my sleeper. Vernon Davis, I think, is going to have a good game.
Yep.
Because I really don't believe Jordan Reed's going to do anything.
You may not lie.
And then Tyler Higbee is my deep sleeper. Dude, we're all over that Rams game. Watch it be a floater. Watch it be a floater, because every time it's just that is the theme of the NFL this year is, oh my God, it's going to be a big game, and oh my God, all these players are going to go off, and then it's a turd floater. It's going to happen. It's just how it is. Oh man, let's talk a little bit more about quarterbacks. It's just let's just take a landscape look at it.
Push the button.
Yeah, I think there's a plug over there or something.
All right.
It's kind of broke.
No, it's good.
Outside of the top 10, the QB roller coaster has been happening. First of all, who thought Matt Ryan? I mean, we knew that he would digress. What is the regress?
Regress.
But
Like
did we think that it was going to be this bad?
I did. But coming into the season, he was on my do not draft list. But here's the thing. Down the stretch, he's going to be beastly.
Yeah, I made a trade for him today because I had nobody, and I'm so pumped about it because he plays. New Orleans is a better defense now.
Yeah,
and their secondary is really better. Vaccaro and Lattimore have been
they've been great,
pillaging. But I think that's still going to be a pretty good matchup, and he plays them twice in the playoffs. He plays New Orleans, Tampa Bay, New Orleans.
But he's gonna make up for everything.
And New Orleans can put up the points, so he's gonna have to throw.
He's gonna have to.
And that's gonna be the big deal. I think that something else I didn't see coming, because I still liked him this year, especially with all of the receivers that they got. And it looked like that team was just going to be on the up and up. Is Marcus Mariota?
Me too.
I mean, you just thought, you're like, oh my God, who is he not going to throw to? He's got all these people, and then it's just
Delaney, Rashard Matthews, Eric Decker.
But and it's just like what I brought up earlier with Charles Clay. Mariota continued to go to Rashard Matthews because they had that chemistry in the years before. It's like you stick to the guy that runs the route you like. And he's right where you like him to be. Mm-hmm. And it's been the same thing with him. But, man, it's been pretty disappointing. And, gosh, Andy Dalton, it's just it's not even his fault.
It's not good.
It's not his fault. It's
kind of his fault.
No, he's on his ass every single time. Every play. It's down set.
No, I get it. He's got a lot of pressure on him, but he's not good either.
He's not horrible, dude.
No,
2
he's
years
not.
ago, he was like.
I get that. Blind squirrels get nuts every day. But he is. I mean, he's just an average quarterback in the NFL.
He is.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
But he did have one good year. I mean, he was like in the top 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did have one. Jameis Winston, we
Uh,
talked about it earlier. Andrew Luck, we talked about it earlier. He just got career ended by his own team. Playing really well. That I expected some of them, but not all of them. Dude, we were both high on Wentz coming in.
Oh yeah.
I drafted him in a few teams.
No, I remember.
And I was really high on Dak. I can't remember if you were or not. I'm pretty sure that you weren't.
I was not high on that,
No.
and I was dead wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people that were in fear of the sophomore slump with him, and
He just didn't turn the ball over.
No.
I was just wrong.
he's really good.
I predicted triple the turnovers this year. It has not happened.
Yeah, he's too good. Alex Smith, I mean, nobody saw that.
Beast. Nobody saw it. But that Pat Mahomes lit a fire under his ass.
He did. But you know what really worries me is like watching KC live last week. I mean, that offense did not look like it was. It just didn't look like it had in the early part of the season.
Earlier, like the play calling was dynamic, and you couldn't tell what they were doing. And I was sitting up there in the deal, and I was elbowing Megan, going, "Grim my left, grim my right, bring my left." Okay, pass the cuss. I mean, you could just see out of the line what they were going to do. I was like, man, Andy, you were disguising this better early in the season. And
Yeah, I think that teams are starting to really prepare a little better. But surely they can get it together because they really are one of the best offenses
oh yeah,
in
they got
the
playmakers.
NFL. Russell Wilson playing. I mean, like I hate his face, and I
know,
only
he's
own him.
playing like a
I own him
beast.
on one team, and I'm glad that I do. I told myself last year after the just upchuck that he had that I wasn't going to draft him anywhere, and he just fell like way down. And I was like, had to take him, and he panned out. And I've had Wentz and Wilson on the same team all year long. Been trying to trade both of them every single week, and nobody will trade. And I can't drop one of them, so it's like
No,
I hate having two quarterbacks.
Me too.
And I'm just like,
me too.
I've thrown him out there for nothing, dude, for nothing, and just teams that had Aaron Rodgers or whatever, like I would just throw him out there for nothing and not get anything. It's
That's bad.
That's
news on
frustrating.
their
That's frustrating. But Tom Brady, man, he's just the ageless wonder.
part. He just keeps doing it. It's not anything special this year.
No.
It's just 20.
Yeah. Cam Newton, it's like it's up and down, but when it's up, it's good.
It's good.
Jared Goff is the biggest surprise of the season.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty much trash. I didn't think Wentz, when they drafted him, I didn't think he was going to be any good. But
That's kind of solid.
both of them were pretty decent.
Yeah, both of them are.
That draft class was good.
Yeah, and a lot of people, the biggest thing to me is, what are you doing as a Cleveland Browns general manager when both of those guys are available? What are you doing?
You just look at the people who are starting right now. And
It's just like,
Cleveland could have had any of them.
it's
Like, basically any of them.
unbelievable that somebody could be that horrible at drafting an
And then
NFL
they took
team.
Kaiser this year.
Like, they can make a lot of money for drafting an NFL team, and they can't do it.
Oh, dude, it's bad. I mean, you think about Dak Prescott. Obviously could have had it. I mean, you just run down the list. I mean, and they get Deshaun Kaiser. So, like, dude, I mean, you think it's going to be RG3?
Dude, it's horrid, man. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch.
It's bad.
It's hard to watch.
I feel
It's just
bad
an
for Brock.
implosion. It's just an implosion, yeah. Oh, man. And the big losses this year, Aaron,
Hey, Ron.
Aaron, and then Carson Palmer it was a big hit.
It's a big hit.
It's a
for
big
that
hit.
offense.
Yeah, for that offense. But obviously Larry Fitz wasn't faced, and that's the only player you really care about
Not
right
now. And Adrian Peterson, if you traded him away.
Oh my gosh! And then Deshaun Watson going down. So I mean, that's terrible.
I feel so bad about that. I really do. I feel so bad about that. But
It was bad for the NFL.
it was bad for the NFL. But I did predict regression. And 0 is regression.
What about all right? So that's your outside looking in at the quarterbacks. Let's do our bold predictions, and then let's GTFO out of here.
All right, my bold prediction, here it is. Isaiah Crowell rushes for 100 yards. Boom. Boom.
That's the boldest. That's the
Ever.
boldest that I've ever heard.
Ever. Crowell goes for 100.
I mean, if that, we might need to put a little something on that. Might have to put a little handshake on that. Put a little money on it. I'll give you $1 a yard. Oh man! Oh, my bold prediction is a little more like it could probably happen. I have AJ Green for 150.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a big bounce back week. I think he just kills it.
I can.
You got another one?
Oh.
Like a reasonable one?
I was actually going to say that Robbie Anderson finishes the week as the number 1 wide receiver.
Wow. That could happen. I mean...
I went bold.
Yeah, that's bold.
I mean, that's bold.
I mean, it could happen.
Yeah.
Here's mine. I always like to do like the against. Like when I called Kareem Hunt getting less than 50 yards against
Oh, I remember, yeah.
Denver.
Like
Which I mean, like,
You
it's
did.
just like...
The same week, I called Watson doing nothing against Seattle. That didn't... Yeah.
Cole Beasley coming off a 2 TD game and injured if he does and no Z. Thoughts? I think Cole Beasley will pillage.
Oh, Cole Beasley's definitely got an uptick.
Yeah, I like it, Lee. I like it. My other bold license I like to go against, Brady has less than 200 yards passing this week against Denver. Which is actually kind of easy to see, but...
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
I mean, bold would be saying under 150.
No,
for Brady.
For Brady is... Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. I actually think Denver's got a shot to win that game.
Oh my God, no. They don't. They do not. They do not.
It's in Denver, isn't it?
It doesn't matter if it was in the... I don't even know what's funny to say there.
I think it'll be a close
It doesn't
game.
even matter if it was in heaven and
And they had
the
angels.
Patriots were devil products and the Denver Broncos were angels. That it would not matter. There would not be...
Oh.
If Brock Osweiler leads that team to a victory against Bill Belichick, then, I mean, I don't even know. That's the landscape of the NFL
I think
this year.
CJ's going to run the ball.
That's all fine and dandy, but they're not winning the football game.
I got it. Is 125 going to go to Gronk?
Yeah. Okay, so my last one is Orleans Starkwa for a Hyundai and a T.
Dude, I love Orleans Darkwa this week. I'm starting
Yeah.
in the couch league. I got it.
Just big time. You got any more bold?
Cowboys beat Atlanta.
That's not bold.
It is bold. With no Zeke.
We'll tear their asses up regardless.
With no Zeke.
Good luck in week 10. We appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.